Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever, whenever that you may be tuning in. This is Yonks, and this is yet another AI Agents.box office hours. It's actually our 27th office hours in our pre-launch conversation here, and this is day 40 of our 180-day live stream sprint and marathon. And on the screen here, we've got the Google Docs. This Google document is pretty sprawling. We're here under progress under week 6 and on the number 5, which is day 40. So if you do a search in here, I'm not sure if it'll show up for day 40. It probably will. Let me anyway, gonna scroll down. Felg culture. Love talking about our Felg culture, fun, earning, learning, and giving. And again, this is a templated document. This is an office hours, and our office hours are really geared to be, question where people bounce in, bounce out, fairly casual. And that's one of the reasons that we don't have a detailed agenda. And what normally happens is if we don't have any questions, then we just start rolling up our sleeves and getting to work, continuing to build towards our launch. So that being said, I'm going to go on mute momentarily and hear anything from Tyler or I am Lotus as far as questions, thoughts, concerns, or whatever.
No, we're good.
Let's roll.
All right. So one of the things that is a need, and real quick, I'm actually going to talk a little bit about DAO wrap. So this is something here. DAO wrap bubbled up, became a little bit higher of a priority because I took advantage of sending out a tweet, and actually in our Telegram, I created a new topic here. DAO Wrap, Reputation and Rapport aims to simplify meritocracy for on-chain organizations at scale using AI. Project incubated by AI Agents.box, part of 3Win social DAO ecosystem. And here's some of the very preliminary IP domain collateral that got surrounding DAO Wrap, DAOWrap.org, .com, .xyz, DAOWrap.eth. And created a Twitter account or an X account, DAOWrap_org, and I replied here, and I'm going to just open up this with a little eyeballs post here to a tweet that I made from griff.eth, and let me actually just click on that. And this was in response to a thought that Griff had. DAOs are fundamentally broken. Aggregating the signals of the community via voting is cumbersome at best. The original dream of DAOs was to have people swarming together to add value in a specific direction. Using AI, we could remove voting altogether, trusting a swarm of AI agents to execute decisions aligned with community feedback. If you are working on this, please reach out. AI can remove formal voting. And I responded saying, I have started having AI agents conversations by way of AI agents.box in our endowed Discord server with collaborating team. And then I was like, well, since I'm going to respond with this, might as well create a Twitter profile and add that here. And then I put a Discord link to that thread. So I'm going to include this here, give us some social media love, also have that included. And what I did here, just so that there's not any conversation around this topic in our Telegram, I actually closed the topic so that the conversation can happen in one place. That one place being on the RDAO Discord server. So anyway, that's one of the things that excited to have some conversations around. From my perspective with what we're building, this isn't something that I want to spend a lot of our own resources on because it's not something, first of all, that we have a lot of expertise on. I would absolutely love to use that within our ecosystem and to amplify that within our agentic AI framework. And that's one of the things that I believe that we're going to bring thought leadership to conversations through what we're building here with AI agents.box. So it'll be interesting to see how those conversations unfold. And there's a lot of people, as you can tell, thinking about that. So yeah. And let me find that restream. So here was that post on Twitter that was just talking about DAO wrap, and there's that link to that post. So anyway, I'm going to just add that real quick to our agenda here as something that we spoke about. So briefly discussed DAO wrap. DAOwrap.org. And here's that Twitter post in here. Oh, that's not. Oh, I linked up the wrong thing. So let me get that correct link. X post. Okay, there it is. And let me throw that on Zoom here for you all as well. Okay, so briefly discuss DAOwrap.org. So one of the other things too, that's a decision that we need to make that there's been some side conversations about, not really anything intentional, is that we need to decide on a cloud infrastructure provider. And that's some geeky stuff. And I'm operating with the belief that that's something that if we need to go in a different direction, that we can change that under the hood. But that being said, I've been hearing great things about Versal. And I'm actually going to go through this process and request an enterprise trial so that we can really start evaluating enterprise grade cloud infrastructure. And one of the things that is more unique about our requirements is that we're really wanting to build this where individuals own their own AI agency. And what that will look like from a cloud infrastructure standpoint is that they would own their own little container. Instead of us like having centralized control of that, we really want to decentralize that from a deployment standpoint. Now, this will be interesting as far as us supporting that. And that's one of the things that we really need to be thoughtful about because this is a very different direction because most cloud infrastructure, like services as software or software as a service, most SaaS, they want to have complete control over everything. We're wanting to have such an automated dynamic with our AI agency that the AI agency should be able to manage the technical details for an individual's AI agency standpoint. So that's a very unique design consideration and deployment scenario that I think is very different for how that we're planning to build things. And this is where, again, we can look at different infrastructures. But right now, I'm operating, I have said and will continue to say, I believe that speed to market is very important. We absolutely want to create a great product and service that people love using. And that's one of the things that we're going to build through AI agency. And one of the things that I've said is that I'm so optimistic with what we can build is that I really want to create a experience where somebody walks away or engages like, wow, this is what technology should have always been like. So it'll be interesting to see if we can get that. And that's not for our first alpha or beta phase. That's more for our launch phase where we're looking to onboard normal people, not Web3 natives. So I'm going to take this as an action item. I'm going to do this off the live stream. I'm going to put a little bit of thought into the company's needs. So let me add that here. Planning to get uh, get an enterprise trial from Versal.
I think I use Vercel for my 1 billion to Web3 initiative uh, on my Lotus Global, and they're really good.
So you say that you've got experience with Versal?
Yes. Well, my dev takes care of that, but yes,
Sure, yeah, ecosystem experience with Versal. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and I also think that Johannes, and it'll be interesting to see if how if that conversation evolves. The person that I added to our LinkedIn DM group was mentioning Versal in our conversation the other day, and I'm pretty sure that Unlock Protocol uses Versal for their infrastructure with what they're doing. So it's used quite a lot. I've seen other people, or especially like Farcaster frames. A lot of devs that do Farcaster frames use Versal as well. So all right, so looking at some other things, some of these other windows that I have on here is Galaxy app. So Galaxy is onboarding the world to Web3, enabling seamless Web3 experiences through a suite of AI, digital identity, and blockchain solutions. So Galaxy is used by a lot of brands, and this is something that I was thinking it may be of value for us to do because when you think about our goal for our AI agents, we're primarily looking to onboard Web3 natives. This is a very different ethos that we've been operating in for a while because, as you know, I am Lotus and Tyler with Gigs Go Green, which was a big talking point in 2024. And to be clear, Gigs Go Green is not dead. It's more in the on the shelf dynamic because I feel that that's evergreen. That being said, one of the AI agent brands that wanting to create isn't even on here yet surrounding that. And this is where we're all going to focus on some more aligned, low hanging fruit. But when we start having success, the opportunity to create an AI agent brand and focus on gigs go green will be a very real dynamic. One of the things that I'm wanting us to talk about, and this is going to be an ongoing topic of conversation probably quite a lot in AI agents.box because as I continue to think about some of the synergies that we can create, have already been planting some seeds about our on-chain boot camp of doing our first on-chain boot camp and calling it We Own AI for hackerhouse.net. And I'm going to actually just put this here as a talking point on our agenda discussing our next on-chain boot camp that we will likely call We Own AI for hackerhouse.net. And to amplify, like we have started having some conversations surrounding doing Boulder is one of our pilot communities. Boulder has some of the most expensive housing in Colorado. They also have some of the most favorable cooperative housing dynamics. And then we also have CU Boulder, a well globally renowned public university, one of the top public universities in the United States right now. I'm not sure where I would rank them top, maybe top 10, probably top 20. I don't know, maybe even higher. Like Trevor just got the Heisman Trophy, and Deion Sanders is making national news for coaching the football team. So anyway, we're looking at doing about a month from now, and this is something that I want to get on the calendar. Need to get this on the calendar for week of what is that? March 11th, or you said March 10th? 10th March 2025. Let me see what week that is. So that would be week 11, March 10th through the 16th. And the reason that that week is important is because I think the following week, CU Boulder students are on vacation for spring break, and we would need to have this before or after. And I think the opportunity of planning for this. So let me see about getting a reservation. And this is again 2025 week 11. And this will be another opportunity for our on-chain ambassadors. We're going to be positioning this as a we own network bundle. And when I say a bundle, I'm not even going to unpack that. And this will be a we ecosystem product equals a we own network bundle. And we'll define what that looks like. And this is one of the things that I think that we need to spend some conversations on. Tyler can attest better than anyone else how many times that we've been talking about doing our on-chain boot camp and not doing it. And this is something that we have a great amount of experience with. I don't know if you remember, I know that I definitely remember doing our retoken real estate boot camp back in, I think that was wow, like April maybe of 2022. What do you remember when that was, Tyler?
Yeah, because those domains are actually about to renew. So I think it was sometime around now because we bought the domains to host it, and I think 2 years ago.
Yeah, so I'm going to take this as an action. I'm actually going to add this as a action item here. Comment, uh, action item for myself. Comments. Okay, so let's see. Looking at the time, we've only got a couple minutes left. What else should we put on the list here to get done or think about getting done? We talked a little bit about Galaxy. I'm going to unpack that a little bit more. Explore more next time if galaxy.com makes sense. What else?
What all are you going to need to have done for the superfluid thing if they take you?
I don't know if I'm necessarily going to need to have anything done. I think the goal that I would like to see is to get our super fluid ecosystem stablecoin deployed and in production by the end of that week. I mean, if we could be online with a production where we can start using that within our ecosystem, because we've already been having conversations about onboarding investor dollars into like funds, and this is where we could really work on having some dynamics where one of the responsibilities of the fund would be to assist with maintaining liquidity on our whatever app and this is one of the things that I was mentioning getting that domain with that higher cost that I think would make sense because then we could just get that deployed there. I mean, we've got, as you know, Tyler, a good amount of we own domains. One of the things that I also think that we should do, speaking of unstoppable domains, is get unstoppable domains to release the hold surrounding we own. Oh, one other thing that I want to do here, speaking of we own, I don't know if you, Tyler and I Am Lotus, saw the snapshot proposal for that I linked on Signal for Web3 Freedom Club to rebrand as We Own Labs. And here you can see that this is an active proposal. I still need to vote on it, and it doesn't look like anybody has voted on it yet. So let me do that right now. So this is improvement proposal 6, rebrand as We Own Labs. Very simple proposal. Look, I don't even have to scroll to see the whole thing on screen here. So it's basically giving us the green light to do a DBA for We Own Labs under Web3 Freedom Club DAO LLC. And it basically says that we've been functioning Web3 Freedom Club as an incubator and think tank within our 3-win social DAO ecosystem, and made the comment here, wanting to lean into We Own as a brand in 2025. No, not a new idea. And Tyler can attest, we've got We Own license plates on our wall. We drive We Own for Tesla. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cast my vote right now. Let me throw this link in here on Zoom for you both so that you can get that knocked out. That's one that you need to do in your Coinbase Web3 wallet. So confirm. And I said that only 3 days on this proposal. This is one of the things, like with our other ecosystem stuff, that we really need to have more defined parameters as far as the length of vote. But with it only being a small group of us on functionally, the people that can vote on this proposal is our core team, our board of stewards for Web3 Freedom Club DAO, which planning to rebrand, as I mentioned, to We Own Labs. So there's my vote for that proposal, and I'm going to throw this link on Zoom. I'll copy this first. But looking at the time here, we're a minute past now. What else do we need to bring up before we call it a good night?
Is there anything on the founding agreement that you want to talk about, or do it later?
I think that that's something that we can take offline. I mean, that's a conversation I'll be glad to get, because the besides the founding agreement, really planning founding member agreement, really planning to utilize some of the stuff within the and may even incorporate it into the founding member agreement as far as the screenshots or something from Collabberry. Because again, I'm just wanting to set really clear expectations, because I operate with the core belief that if people's expectations are clear, you communicate clear expectations, people accept those expectations, then that really avoids confusion and frustration and just avoids things altogether. So,
Very cool. Yeah, that's all I had.
got anything else? I am Lotus.
Oh, we're good. Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop the screen share here, and then we can say adios, good night, goodbye.
Good night, everyone. Good morning to the other half of the world.
Right. Till next time, everybody.